What's going on, my friend? Simchaw Fitness here. Let's get right up into it. You know the title, you saw it down below. UFC 193. Man, I saw that last night. First I was like, huh? Then I was like, what? And I was like, damn. She just got knocked out. Right. But I think that's just about what everybody else was doing. And then I went, no way! Right? But at the end of the day, I want to tell you guys something. In the end of the day, I really don't care what, and I don't think anybody else does care, at the end of the day, what happens to Ronda Rousey. Right? Because at the end of the day, you got to understand something about me. Right? I don't believe women should be fighting in the UFC. I don't believe there should be female police officers. I don't believe they should have women in the Marines, right? I don't believe they should even have women going into fires to save people, as firemen. I think there's this thing called gender equality, which is a double standard in itself, because guys are always paying the food bill, and yet there needs to be some gender equality in the direction of we have to have females as police officers. So, for example, this is going to be a little rant, I'm sorry, but for example, when I have a female officer come over to me, right, and and she wants to know why I'm speeding, right, and if I were to get out of my car, if I were to do something funny, right, since I'm kind of muscular, all of a sudden she's got trigger happy, right, she starts, reaching for her taser, starts getting a little scared, right. How is that my fault, right? I know a guy won't be trigger happy. You understand that? You understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying basically is that, I've noticed a lot of times when the female officers are reprimanding me, right, since I'm not a small guy, right, they automatically on the defensive, like I'm about to do something, and there's a heightened level of energy there. There's a heightened level of nervousness there that they don't quite that they don't have quite a control over the situation. Now, they may feel like they have a control of the situation, but the bottom line is, I'm a man, they're a woman, right? They understand that, right? And they can get up on their walkie-talkies, they can, get for help, call for help, do whatever they need to do. But the bottom line is, they are not grounded because they're women, right? And so I don't really appreciate that. But that's an entire other separate rant, right? When it comes to male officers, on the other hand, right, they always treat me with respect. It's always easy going. I never feel like I'm getting power tripped. There was one officer I dealt with that I felt like he was on a power trip. Other than that, I've been good all the way around, right? However, when it's female officer, on the other hand, it's all business. Yeah, go ahead, bring on 1044. Yeah, we got a suspect on I-83. Yeah, I'm sorry, sir, you're gonna have to wait. Yeah, we got so you're gonna have to bring on over yeah, I'm gonna have some backup. We got a suspect on 93 and 38th Street, and yeah, he was carrying something in his trunk. I'm like, ma'am, I was just carrying my suitcase in my trunk. Sir, back away, sir. Back away, I will deal with you in a moment. Yeah, so if you can bring some backup real quick, I'll have another unit dispatch real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, sir, back to you now. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to write you this citation, and you're going to have to bend over and take it up the ASS, and then when we're all done over here, I'm going to clear on up. I'm going to hightail out of here back to my reporting office. I'm sorry. I am so sorry for that. But that's how I feel. You understand? That's how I feel. Right? And bottom line is, I feel like this is all connected. Women in the UFC, freaking police officers running about, waving around citations, being like they're all big and bad, when there's about 5'3", 5'4", hell, even 5'7", like they're all tough and what? Because they got a gun? Because they got backing? Man, no. Right? Because they, women in the firearms, in the firefighting, women in the military, I understand that there's tough women out there. I get it. There's tough women. There's women out there who can whoop my butt. Right? I get that. Right? So because I understand. Right? But at the same time, There's something that makes a man, because we got balls. You understand? And there's something that makes a woman, because they don't got balls. Right? And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Right? And that's why, for thousands of years, men have been the one to do this stuff. Now, all of a sudden, it becomes alright for women to do it. Okay? Now, so when Ronda Rousey goes ahead, I don't care if she defeats 10, I don't care if she beats 1,000 women. Right? Bottom line is, it's all estrogen versus estrogen in that cage. As soon as you throw a man into the mix, that's when I'm going to start caring. Right? And I think that's when the rest of America is going to start caring, to be honest with you. Right? Because let's just say, just for a second, let's say we get Ronda Rousey with Floyd Money Mayweather, right? Mayweather doesn't have a ground game. He's a boxer. How can he have a ground game? So you put Ronda against Mayweather and see what happens, right? See what happens. Take it out of the UFC. Go to a third party, right? Third party, something that will showcase it, pay-per-view. Right? See how many people will watch that. I bet you millions of people. There was so much filthy money in that. People want to see, Ronda Rousey versus some sap, some man, right? Some guy she can knock him out. She will cement her place in for the rest of history. Once and for all, prove that women do belong in the UFC, right? Because until then, I don't think they do. I don't think they belong in the UFC. I don't think they belong in the Marines. I don't think they belong on the police force, right? I don't think so. Okay? I mean, I will repeat again. I'm sorry. This was supposed to be about the UFC. It turned out to be about, like, cops and stuff. I have never had a good experience from a female officer. Ever. And I've dealt with a lot of officers before. Okay? And every single time when I see a female coming out of that car or coming around to help me or whatever the situation may be, my heart sinks. I'm like, damn. God damn it. Oh, my God. Can you send me a guy? Jesus Christ, what the hell? Right? And I'm just pissed. I'm pissed. Right? And so there's the bottom line. The bottom line is she can face 1,000 women, Ronda Rousey. She can face I don't care if she beats 1,000 women, right? A year. I don't really care what kind of standing she has. At the end of the day, she's facing women on women fight. Right? That's all it is. That's all it ever was. Right? And until she can stand up to a man and knock a man down on his feet, right? And not a real man, a man who knows what he's doing in the UFC, a man who's a mixed martial artist in jiu-jitsu, and Muay Thai, Taekwondo, somebody who knows what they're doing inside an octagon, right? Knock that person on their feet, show the world that a woman can really lay down the smack on a man. I ain't subscribing to no UFC on the daily. Sorry, Louis. Right? I ain't subscribing to no UFC, right? Seriously, I ain't subscribing to nothing like that. Because at the end of the day, I don't believe in it. It doesn't impress me. I don't get all psyched when Ronda Rousey goes ahead and in the rematch, she's going to knock the stuffing out of this, what's her name? Rom girl, right? Home girl, right? I won't care when the whole world's going, oh my God, Ronda Rousey knocked out Home in an amazing comeback. Who'd have thunk? Right? I don't give a damn. Because in the end of the day, it's women versus women. And that ain't just never going to impress me. I don't care. Because as soon as you throw a man into the mix, it's all done. You know what it's like? It's kind of like in bodybuilding. When you got dudes on steroids and dudes not on steroids. Okay, I understand the dudes not on steroids. They got some. But let's not mistake ourselves. The big kahunas in bodybuilding are always going to be the dudes on steroids. And the natural dudes are always going to take a back seat. That's just how it works. That's just how all this works. Dudes in the back, dudes with the steroids are going to be the forefront. Dudes in the naturals are always going to be off to the side. Same thing with men and women. It's the same difference there. All right, man. I made all my points. Cut this video, man. Wait. Disclaimer. For all the people I pissed off, I do respect police officers, but this is my unadulterated. I'm not taking back what I said. I'm still not taking back what I said, because what I said is real. That's really how I feel. But I still support the police and what they do. I don't want you to get that twisted. I support the police and what they do, but at the same time, my opinion still stands. I do not believe women belong in that kind of field. And I do not believe, furthermore, women should be fighting in UFC. Cut this video, man.